He's a transformational coach, multilingual speaker who went from corporate finance and real estate and towards guiding high achievers through deep personal reinvention. He built a career crunching numbers at Ernst & Young. He's led international finance team, and now he helps professionals break through burnout and rediscover purpose through his signature CASVI method. He's a black belt in mindset shifts, and he's fluent in both English and Spanish, and brings clarity, energy, and meaning to the way that we work and lead. A very warm welcome to Leadership That Sells. This is a podcast that helps you lead first and then sell more. And that's because most sales teams today are just not really teams. They're what we call teams in parallel. They're working in a similar way, but just not with each other. And what most sales managers and leaders are still leading like, they've got a football team, when in reality they've got a group of golfers at the best. Now that mismatch then creates a whole load of pain, poor coaching, bad meetings, burned out managers, and reps who are drifting. So what we built is a lightweight reset to help your managers lead the right way, setting clear expectations, building identity without the fluff, and coaching for autonomy without going hands off. If that sounds like your world, grab the free Parallel Team Playbook at practicalleadership.academy on the website. It's short, sharp, and made for senior folk with teams of managers just like you. Daniel Castro, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to be part of your podcast, and thank you for hosting me.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Now, you're joining us from the delights of Miami, Florida, in His Majesty's United States of America.
Yes, here from the heat of Miami.
Oh, my goodness. And you're floating down there, enjoying some air conditioning, while we're suffering here in just outside of London. In crazy, crazy warm weather. We don't get the aircon. You know, this is the one thing, right? This is the one thing I love doing when we go back to America. Everything's air conditioned. Freezes your ass off, but it's reduces the temperature and lets your brain work.
Yes. That's something I really love that invention.
Now, you spend a lot of time working with really high achieving professionals, okay? And so you worked in Ernst & Young. You've built teams. You've helped people through reworking who they are, why they are. If I were somebody who was a high achiever and I was stuck, doing really well, hitting all the numbers, but I'm just stuck, where do you start with me? What are the questions you ask? What do you need to know, and where can you take me?
Well, I think that one of the characteristics, or the main characteristics of high achieving professionals, is that they're very results driven. They work really, really, really hard to achieve all the goals that they have in their lives, and they work so hard that many times what happened is that they achieve all they wanted in their life, but they still feel that something is missing. And one of the reasons why is because they haven't had the time to really stop, to really pause, and really understand themselves and think, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is this really the correct trajectory that I should keep doing in my life? And so many times what I have seen in high achieving professionals, and even with myself, is that I was just living in emotions. I was just in an automatic, and I didn't have the time to really think about these things. And the first thing that I can help them is to pause and really clear their mind, have that moment of silence, of understanding themselves, of questioning how they get there, what is the next step look like, and align their values are what the things that are important in their life to what the next action is going to be. So the first thing is pausing. Pause is one of the most important things that is overlooked, because we're living in a society that is go, go, go. It's about performance. It's about achievements. It's about the next milestone. There is pressure from our bosses and from the economy to deliver. And we don't have that time to pause. And if we don't have that to pause, then we won't be able to make the right decisions or really understand ourselves.
I've read recently that living slowly is an act of rebellion. taking your time is an act of rebellion. There's a lovely joke, it's one of the joke stories, and it's the McKinsey consultant or something like that, and he goes down to Guadalajara, and he's talking to an old fisherman, and he says, "Is that your boat there?" He says, "Yes." You know the story, right? Talk to the old fisherman. He says, "Is that your boat?" "Yes." "You could sell the fish, get another boat, and then sell the fish from 2 boats and get 4 boats, and sell the fish from 4 boats and get a fleet, and then you would have a multinational organization, and then you could do, and then you could. And he said, "Okay, yeah, I could do all that, but then what would I do?" "Well, then you would sell everything. And then what would I do?" "Well, you come back to Guadalajara and go fishing." Right. Okay. Right. So it's the pause, it's the living slowly. I think there's a lot of value in not just pausing, but it's pausing for a purpose. Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you're on the money and just saying simply enough, look, just stop.
Yeah,
like people who just take that minute to just stop, they are way ahead of what, 50%, 80, 90% of the rest of the world?
Yes.
But then if you take the moment to stop and do something about, just reflect, think, ask a question. That's you. That's elite level.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You just stop. Wow. But then stop and do something, or rather not do something, or ask a question. Wow. That's crazy.
Totally. I mean, one of the things that you mentioned, that story, that I remember that story because 3 weeks ago I did a presentation where I was talking about going from a results-driven success to a purpose-driven success.
Okay.
It's a new definition of success that I want people to really think about. And many people are focusing on the results, on the achievements, and they focus on, or they think that they're going to be successful when they have the money, the car, the house, the big business, the big promotion, or like the story that you were telling, when you get all these boats and you sell them, you sell the company, and then you become a multimillionaire. That's when you think that you're going to be successful. But the reality is that success is not the destination, it's the journey. And everyone has a different definition of success, just like the fisherman. That fisherman was already living with purpose. He was already living, he was already free from all those expectations and from all the things that society tells us that that's the way that success should be, or that a person should achieve for. And when you find something that is really meaningful in your life, a purpose, a mission, a life project, something that really allows you to serve and help others, that's when you can really think that you're living, or you're having that journey of success already. You don't have to wait for the results to happen. Right here, right now, you can experience it every single day of your life.
That's it. But there's I had a conversation, and my son was 11. He was 10 at the time. Was listening to me, and I was talking about wisdom. You know, I was trying to be the wise father, right? I've failed miserably, but I was trying to be the wise guy. And I said, well, what I think wisdom is, it's the knowledge that you've picked up, right? The books you've read, the videos you've watched, the life the training, all this sort of stuff. And then the experience of putting that knowledge into practice. Now, most people do that. Most people go on a course, they read something, and they might try it out. So you've got a lot of people. And then many, many fewer people then take that knowledge and they try it out. And they then reflect on what happened. So you've got lots of people with knowledge, okay? Some fewer people who've actually tried to apply the knowledge. Many fewer people who've actually looked at the results and wondered why. And he said, no, that's not wisdom. That's just you sitting on the top of a hill, you know, thinking wonderful thoughts. Unless you share it, it stops to become wisdom. That's when it becomes wisdom, right? And I can see if you're listening in the podcast, you're listening in black and white, because this is very, very handsome Latin man here has beautiful, salt and pepper hair. And I can see we're probably of a very similar age. And you get to this point in your life and you're realizing that actually the value that I have is not in what I've learned and what I can do, but it's in the questions that I can ask. It's the questions that I can ask other people. And it's the responses that you elicit in the other person. Right? And so you, as the consummate coach, as you're taking your CASVI method, and you have to tell us where you got the CASVI name from. You're trying to bring clarity to people. You're trying to bring energy into a conversation and find purpose out of somebody's soul. How'd you do that? Where'd you start? Tell us CASVI. Okay. Where's CASVI?
All right. The CASVI framework. And I was telling you before we started in the podcast that CASVI basically is... we live in a world of duality, black and white, light and darkness, left and right. And I have my mother and a father, and they both have their last names. My dad's last name is Castro. My mom's last name is Biancha. And then I realized that all my life I've been between the two families. They're so different. The Castro family is different than the Biancha family. The Castro family is more about really high achieving and being the best in college, very competitive. They don't drink. They're more serious in certain areas, and they're careful who they associate themselves with. The Biancha family, they like to party, they like to drink, they're happy all the time, they get together and they make a celebration about anything. They're not that high achieving oriented. And I've always been like that. I've been a combination of the two. The best in school, but also the one that loves to dance and drink and have a good time. And the one with the scholarships, but also the one who likes to party. I was like that for a long time. And the CASVI method is a combination of the two things. This CASVI stands for Castro and V for Biancha. And it also stands for the framework that I use in my life for my own personal development and my own journey. And even before I start talking about the CASVI method, there is one important thing that I want to mention is that in order for someone to change their life, to transform themselves, they first need to have the desire to change. They first need to have that wanting of commitment and even assuming responsibility for their own life in order to start changing and being open to new information. Because it's hard for someone who thinks that they know it all in order to be open to new information. If they think they know everything already. And that's the first thing for anything. And the C for CASVI stands for clarity. And when I speak about clarity, it's not just the clarity about what you want for the future, what is the next step in your career or in your life. It's also clarity about what brought you here, where you are right now. It's about being clear of who you are and what are those beliefs that you have in your life. What are those stories that you're carrying in your life that are either helping you or stopping you from being the person that you want to be or achieving the goals that you want. It's about knowing what your values are and realizing if your values are aligned with the actions that you're taking in your life. It's about knowing what are your motivations, what are those human needs that are inspire you to make the decisions in your life as well. If your human need is about significance rather than love and connection, are you being aware of that and looking at the results and how you feel outside? They might be affecting everything that you're doing. it's also about having clarity of the different areas of your life and where do you want to be in your family, how you want to experience or how satisfied are you with your finances, with your health, with your spirituality, and with your career, with your purpose. It's about having that clarity because many people don't ever think about these things. No. They don't think about any of that. And something that I realized throughout my years is that everything or life is about self-discovery. Everything is about self-discovery. It's about knowing who we are, understanding more about ourselves. And when we understand these things about ourselves, automatically we're going to be understanding more about other people. We're going to be understanding the motivations that other people have. We're going to become more compassionate because we know more. We know our motivations. We know our values. We know when we get upset, when we get happy. And when someone gets upset, we might think, oh, maybe that person is going through a difficult time because I went through that. So it's more about self-discovery, and clarity allows you to do that. The next step in CASVI is the A for awareness. And when I'm talking about awareness, I'm talking about paying attention. Every day, most people live in automatic.
Oh, they wake up. They drift. People just drift through.
Yeah, they drift. Exactly. They wake up in the morning. They do the same thing every single day. They go to work. They do whatever they have to do in automatic because drive the same way to work, eat the same food in the same places. And life just passes by because they're using automatic all the time. And when you're able to generate awareness or start paying attention and connection to everything about you, your body, your breath, your mind, your thoughts, your tonality, your posture, your emotions, and you start being connected to everything that make you, then now you're more aware of what is happening outside of you as well.
Yeah.
And when you have awareness, you can also, instead of reacting to the world, you can respond to the world. Instead of getting mad about something that happened in your life, that you can actually slow down and recognize the emotion, knowing that that's not you, and you feel it in your body, and then you stop, and then you respond.
The response versus react, I think, is very big. I talk to my kids about that quite a bit, and it's hard. You have some kids and they're going through hormone changes just because they're becoming teenagers and stuff, and they might yell or do something crazy, and you can just yell back or lash out or whatever. And as a parent, you take 2 seconds and you step back and you pause for a second and you think, that's not my son or daughter. That's not them. That's just a chemical response. It's a reaction to the chemicals in their body. They're actually a lovely kid, lovely young person. So I'm just going to give them a hug and say, it's okay. This isn't you. It's all right. It's just something else going on here. Let's see if we can help you get through it. And they'll come through, they'll calm down. It takes a while. It's hard bloody work, hard work. And you get through the other end of this, and then you have the conversation and says, you recognize that? Did you recognize that? And sometimes they say, yes. All these flags you felt, all this stuff you felt. That's not you. See when that happens next time? You have you can now deal with it because you recognize it. And you deal with adults in the same way. Somebody does something out of character. You're thinking, well, man, hey, whoa, what's going on here? Craziness. Is everything all right at home? Rather than slap, right? It's exactly as you said. What is actually the problem here? It's that my mother's really ill and I can't cope with you asking me for an updated timesheet in a different font. Okay. Oh, okay, now I know. Now I can help you. Right? So this is a response rather than a reaction. I love that.
Yes, totally.
So important. Right. Okay. So we've got CAS. We're into the S.
The S stands for sense of purpose.
Okay. Right. Purpose is
Yeah,
hard. Purpose is really
sense.
hard.
Yeah, sense of purpose, like, is why you do what you do.
Uh-huh.
It's finding your why, finding that thing that moves you, finding your passion, or putting your passion into action, finding that thing that makes you unique, those abilities, those gifts that you're the only one who has them.
Hmm.
Everyone in the world has a unique gift, something that they do better than other people. And many times we have a hard time finding it because we think it's something extravagant. It's something, it has to be something like being a soccer player, like the best of them, like Messi. That's the,
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. We start comparing ourselves with like all these famous figures that we need to have a gift like that or a talent like that. But at the end of the day, it's something like being able to listen, for example. Like if someone is able to listen, that's a talent. Not a lot of people are able to listen.
Sorry, what did you say?
Exactly. To listen, to be, maybe to take complex information and make it simplify it. Many talents.
Yeah.
And when you are able to find this and being aware of it, then you think about a big problem that happens in the world.
Mhm.
Something that is happening that I'm really connected with, and how I can use my gifts and talents and all my experience in order to help this problem, to solve this problem.
Mhm.
And you can and then it becomes, instead of what your son was saying, instead of getting all this knowledge and all of these gifts that God gave us, that the universe gave us for ourselves, now we start expanding and helping the world and helping other people as well. And that's where purpose comes from. Is by serving, by selfless service. And that's something that we practice in yoga and the scriptures and ancient philosophy. Is selfless service.
The heart of everything I try to do, and I fail. I call myself an imperfect follower of Christ, right? The heart of everything I try to do is to be a servant leader. Service, but lead. Because people want leaders, people are desperate for leaders, but most people, when they say leadership, they think of some bad teacher. That's really what their picture in their head is a bad teacher who's yelling at them and telling them what to do. But the idea of service, in that my job is to make you successful. And I will move heaven and earth to make you successful. And help you to turn yourself into the best version of yourself that is possible, that I can do. And it's a really selfish thing to do, I think. Selfless and selfish, because when you serve, you get so much back. You get more back than you give. Only, however, if you serve without expecting anything back. Right? So it's a complicated idea. You've got to serve. If you're feeling bad, if you're listening and you're feeling a bit shit today, get outside and go do something for someone else. Right? Go help somebody carry their bags. Go and do something for someone else. Go serve. But serve for the purpose of serving. Don't serve because you think you'll get something back. But if you serve for the purpose of serving, I promise you're going to get something back. And you'll get 10 times back what you get. What you delivered. I love that. Service, the purpose of service. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Selfless service. In yoga, we call it karma yoga.
Karma. There we go.
Karma yoga. And when you're able, what you were saying, when you're able to do this, it has so many benefits from doing that, because it just opens your heart and you connect with other people. You have empathy for other people. you are serving based on of with love,
Yeah.
because you're not expecting anything in return, and you don't suffer dissatisfaction, because most of the suffering in the world is because we're expecting something back. We're so attached to the results of our labor or the things that we do, that when we don't get them right away, or when we want it, then we suffer. And I think that your listeners that are in the sales industry, many times they might do a lot of work in order to have those sales done, but they don't get the results right away. And many of them might feel frustrated, or maybe thinking about quitting or changing industries or doing something else because they are not getting the results that they want. And when you're able to, and I know people have to sell because they have to eat, they have to,
yeah, no sell, no eat.
they have to make money, right? They have to make money. But it's not about that. It's more about being detached from the results, being detached from the outcome that is going to stop the suffering and the dissatisfaction from doing what you're doing. And it's going to allow you to continue doing the thing that you're doing, because now you're not attached to that outcome.
And I think you're touching on what you said at the beginning, which is it's all about the journey. We're all on this journey, okay? It's all on the day to day. And the minute you start thinking about the outcome that you're trying to get to, the goal you're trying to get to, you're immediately a failure, right? Let's say I want to lose 20 pounds, okay? I've eaten too much cake, I want to lose 20 pounds. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Well, guess what? I haven't lost 20 pounds, so I'm a failure. Oh, hang on, that sucks. But if I just decide to eat healthily and to exercise more and have a plan for this, so every day I eat properly, and every day I go to the gym, and every day and every day and every day, guess what happens? I don't lose 20 pounds, I lose 40 pounds, in which case my leg falls off, but that's the journey. And it's the view of life that the life is about the journey, not the destination, because the destination is ultimately the end, and you don't want to get there too fast.
Yeah, you get there when you are supposed to get there. It's not when you want to get there, it's when you're supposed to get there. If you get there too soon, sometimes they send you back.
Return to sender, address unknown.
Yeah, I mean, you have seen people who win the lottery, for example.
Yeah,
they become millionaires, and it was easy for them, and then they lose everything after 6 months because they weren't supposed to. They didn't have the mindset, and they weren't supposed to have all that abundance at that time. They needed to learn. Yeah, they needed to learn to lose it in order to perhaps gain it back, or there were lessons behind that.
So selfless service, and then we're on to the...
Then CASVI, the V stands for vitality.
Okay.
Vitality. And I relate it to energy because it's important for everyone to really understand where energy comes from and how to manage our energy, because it doesn't matter if you have all these goals and all these dreams and the things that you want to accomplish in your life if you don't have the energy to do it. If you're tired every single day, if you don't feel like waking up in the morning, if you're getting sick, there are so many people who make so much money in order to spend it because getting better because they got sick. So at the end of the day, is where does energy come from? It comes from whatever we put in our mouth, through our eyes, through our ears, through our senses. So what we eat becomes ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to be careful with what we eat. We have to be careful and be aware of what we watch. Like many people are watching the news all the time, and the news are very negative and
bad for your health.
Bad for your energy and for your health, because you're going to be in a bad mood if you're not able to channel that thing that is happening that you're watching.
Totally.
Or even music. So many people listen to music that has, if we think about energy as vibration and frequency, is negative, So it's about that. It's about working out, about moving your body, about taking a break and sleeping correctly, properly, about breathing. How many people don't even know they're breathing? Like, I mean, we take breathing for granted, right? There you go.
And I feel better already.
And exactly, and being aware of your breath, being aware of what you eat, about resting, about what you put in your mind, about meditation, so you can create more room for happy thoughts and positive thoughts. That's where your energy is going to help you achieve the goals that you want. And if we go even further about energy, where everything has energy, and we as humans, we have an electromagnetic field. What we think and what we feel is what basically what creates our reality. And then if we are thinking and sending these wants to the universe and or the things the goals that we want, then our feelings are going to attract those things in our lives, and the energy that we carry based on our emotions are the ones that are going to help us achieve those goals that we really want. Because here's the thing: many people focus on the strategy. Many people focus on how to do the thing. What strategy I can use in order to sell more, in order to do more, in order to take less time in achieving the goal that I want. But the thing is that if the strategy was the key, everyone will achieve their goals, because you could just follow a strategy that someone did and then achieve the same goals that this person does. But a strategy is not everything. It comes from what is within ourselves. Because at the end of the day, the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. And the way that we feel, the way that we think, the stories that we have in our minds, the emotional state that we have every single day, that we carry every day, those are the things that are going to make the strategy work. And I can see that in a lot of people. And I mean that happened to me. I've been trying to, or once I tried to be in this network marketing business, and I followed the strategy that everybody was doing, but my mindset and my stories and the beliefs about, I don't think I can do it, that's too hard, I'm not enough, or that is too hard to do, like all of these negative things that I thought about myself, I didn't make a single sale. So
yeah. Well, the person that listens to us most is us, right? We listen to ourselves more than anyone else does, much more. Yeah.
So imagine that. Yeah. Imagine that, like if we have that inner dialogue in our mind, and that inner dialogue is negative.
Yeah.
You know, like people can tell you. I remember when I was in my 20s, I moved to the US by myself, and I was having a hard time because I left all my family and moved to the US, you know, as an immigrant. And I started surrounding myself with people that they weren't goal oriented. We were just working in restaurants, drinking and just having fun. And then the conversations that happened at the time were very negative. They were immigrants who didn't even think about staying in the US. They just wanted to make money and then going back to Mexico. And I started becoming like them, until one day, a mentor came in, I met this person from Colombia that was a professional guy, and he had a lot of experience in mentoring people, and he started to believe in myself, and he will tell me, like, I believe in you. I think that you have a lot of potential, but I didn't believe it. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter if someone believes in you. It helps, but our inner dialogue is not helping. So we have to.
Can be destructive.
It could be destructive. We have to look into that. Yes, for sure.
All right, we need to wrap. So let's have the I. What's the last one?
Integration. There is integration.
Go on now.
We have to integrate everything, that new thing that we learn, all the knowledge, all the experiences. We have to put it in practice. There is, if it doesn't matter if we have the knowledge, it doesn't matter how many books we read, how many conferences we go to. It doesn't matter if we don't integrate those things in our lives every single day. And that to have an action plan and knowing exactly what we need to do, because through the integration, we become the new version of ourselves. And that's what the I stands for. Integrate and taking action.
It's, I think information is always seen as the problem. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Well, you know what? YouTube, hello, Google, right? If information was the problem, well, exactly, yeah. We'd all be millionaires with six-pack abs, right? Because it's all out there, but nobody does that. So you integrate with the last piece. All right, you know what? I love CASVI. I love it. It reflects very much how I think. If you are listening and you want to find Daniel and his CASVI method, where can we find you?
Danny CASVI in all platforms. Danny CASVI, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
His Instagram's brilliant, by the way. You got to go and see his Instagram. It's really, really good. I'll put links to all this stuff in the show notes below, so you'll see all of that stuff there. So
yeah, and the last one, I just updated I had everything in Spanish, and then I just updated my website in English, and it's under dannycasvi.podia.com. dannycasvi.podia.com. And it's in English, and it explains the CASVI method. It explains the type of people that work with me and what I do, and it's very, very, very complete.
Good. If you had one message that you could share with the whole world, big billboards all around the world, what's the one message you would write on the billboard for the world to see?
I think would be to really go within, instead of just trying to move forward all the time. Go within, really understand themselves, really connect with their heart, connect with their mind, with their body, with their true self. Because I feel that there is a lot of disconnection right now in the world. And with technology, most people are even disconnecting more from themselves, and we're losing our humanity. We're losing that contact that we have with each other, but it's because we are losing the contact with who we really are. And if my message is that, is just think about going within, do the healing work, know yourself more. And that's just going to help you to become the better version of yourself and make this world a better place.
Go within, connect with yourself. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Castro, Danny CASVI, thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it. Thank you for hosting and for holding a space. And I hope I can see you again.